Breaking news! Germany is closing down its nuclear power plants and reopening its coal power plants instead. Hello, Aqualandians! My name is Katsu, and I am the Aqualandian Historian. Unlike my usual videos, this will mainly be an opinion video backed by some facts. Feel free to leave your opinion in the comment section below. One of the consequences of the Ukrainian war is the strain on European power and heating, such as the gas crisis in Germany and other European states. Germany, being so reliant on Russian gas, is having a bit of an energy crisis. They have recently announced that they were going to reopen the coal power plants. And I thought to myself, dang, we really are screwed. As we transition to renewables, we need to think of something more reliable to make sure we can have a steady supply of energy even though we don't use many fossil fuels. Now, I think this is a common opinion, but I'd rather not live in a flooded house due to climate change. In my opinion, what we need is nuclear power. Boo! Chernobyl! Fukushima! He's trying to kill us! Boo! Before you guys get mad, at least let me explain my opinion. One downside of normal renewable energy is that they're not very reliable. It's not always sunny, and it's not always windy. The only ones which are pretty reliable are hydro and geothermic, but both need very specific geological structures and locations, so not all areas around the world can use these sources. Nuclear energy is not renewable with limited supplies, but it is expected to at least last 90 years until our supplies deplete on Earth. But we can always mine more in space with new innovation to make space more commercially friendly, like a skyhook. And in that time that we're using nuclear power plants, we can install more renewable energies, and we may even be able to find a viable way to use fusion energy. Using nuclear gives humanity a necessary breathing room. Also, nuclear power is extremely efficient. The energy produced in a nuclear power plant is almost 10 million times more efficient than a coal or oil power plant. They have a 93% energy capacity too. Also, they have an average lifespan of around 40 to 60 years and have a really cheap operating cost. The electricity produced by nuclear power is also a lot cheaper than other forms of fossil fuel generated energy. It's objectively one of the best power sources, but nothing is perfect in this world. So, what are some of the downsides? Most people who don't do a lot of research will point out two things: nuclear waste and meltdown. Let's first address nuclear waste. Although it's true reactors produce radioactive waste, it's mostly safely stored away. The USA stores a lot of its nuclear waste, along with other countries, in dry casks. The thing that scares most people are events like Chernobyl and Fukushima. These ideas of nuclear apocalypse always scare people, but they shouldn't. Nuclear power plants are some of the safest and most reliable buildings according to the International Atomic Agency. Although both accidents are terribly sad, they both were due to specific reasons and could have been prevented. In Chernobyl, the boron rods were tipped with graphite, which sped up the fission time, and in Fukushima, there's a 9.1 magnitude earthquake, which destroyed infrastructure regardless of what it was. Both events had a low death toll, with 31 and 1 deaths in their respective events. The fear of nuclear meltdown is an unfounded one because it's much safer and has a much lower death toll than other power sources such as fossil fuels and hydro. But there is one major downside of nuclear power which there's no really solution to, and that's the upfront price and building cost, costing upwards of $5 billion and taking 5 to 10 years to build. But there are some solutions to this problem, such as using smaller modular reactors, which will still cost a couple billion, but can be built faster and cheaper, making the money it costs back faster. But as a group, humanity should be able to sacrifice some capital to save this planet, our environment, and our homes. So we need to save this planet, and renewables won't be enough. So make sure to spread information about nuclear power so we can at least make it to the end of the century. We don't need to be afraid of nuclear. According to Mr. Leon of the German Association of Energy and Water Industries, there is no future for nuclear in Germany. Period. So let's make a future for this world by making a future for nuclear first. Thanks for watching. This was Katsu, the Aqualandian Historian, and goodbye!